This is our 2023 Zeitgeist project. Before 2023.
COVID-19 happened on March 13th, 2020. The world went into lockdown due to the disease. Jobs were lost at retail stores, restaurants, beauty salons, and more. And the unemployment rose from 3.5 to 14.8%.
So in June 2022, the court overturned Roe v. Wade, and it got rid of the right, a woman's right to a federal abortion. So this had a huge effect on America, and according to a poll from CBS, a majority of Americans were against the decision, and 50% believe that abortion access has been more restricted than expected. And of those 50%, 86% of those people believe that it puts the woman's life at risk not having access to an abortion.
George Floyd was killed on May 25th, 2020. He was accused by using fake money. He was 46 when he died, and many protests began like hours after he died.
Okay, so on January 6th, 2021, a violent mob stormed the Capitol. Lawmakers were sent fleeing for their lives. President Trump watched the entire event on TV, and he did make a weak attempt to stop it, but went completely off script, talking about how the election had been stolen. So on January 7th, Mike Pence was able to certify the election results, and this was the first time that America has not had a peaceful transaction of power. And the video here is of Trump inciting the riot before the election. Before the fall.
I'm very humbly asking if you could chip in $5, $10, or even $25. I know that times could be tough. Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
And themes here, and themes would be just like political divisions and politics and things like that.
Brittany Griner was one of the best women's basketball players before she got arrested in Russia in 2022. She was drafted in 2013, and when she was arrested for having weed and drugs in the Russian airport. She was in Russia because she was doing a women's basketball league in Russia in the off season of the WNBA. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison, but got released 10 months after she was sentenced due to a prison swap with Victor Bot, a Russian arms dealer, who used his power and resources to smuggle arms from East Europe into Africa.
So the Israel-Hamas war in 2023. So it began on October 7th, 2023, when Hamas launched a land and sea attack from Gaza. 2 million people have reportedly fled their homes from the Gaza Strip. And it has had a huge effect on the U.S. So there have been an increase in hate crimes and threats on Jewish, Muslim, and Arab communities and people. usually don't plan it, it happens in attacks, so they're really hard to track down. And then it also will have a huge effect on the election, especially with Biden showing support mainly for Israel. Many communities that would have voted for Biden in the last election are not sure that they want to vote for Biden again. They don't want Trump necessarily, but they aren't sure that Biden can show their support for Biden. So many of them are just choosing not to vote, which is going to be a huge issue in this next upcoming election.
Barbenheimer was a cultural phenomenon between the movies Barbie and Oppenheimer, and cast members of the movies encouraged people to watch them as a double feature in theaters.
Okay, so 2023 also was a huge year of climate change. It was the warmest year on record so far. So the Earth's average land and sea temperature was 2.12 Fahrenheit, and this beat the warmest year, 2016, by a margin of 0.27 degrees. So greenhouse gas emissions actually did decrease that year due to many Americans buying electric cars, but still. And it was also, there were many storms in 2023, like huge storms, wildfires, like just the US was attacked with various things. Yeah. And themes here would be climate and global warming. And this is just a video that kind of highlights many of the main events.
If lawn care were easy, everyone would do it. As well as True Green does it. True Green's online tools help ensure your custom treatment works to deliver a greener, healthier lawn. Guaranteed. It's time to trust your experts at True Green. Go online today.
2023, the hottest year ever on Earth.
Oh my God.
A year of climate and weather extremes. In the U.S., the number of billion-dollar disasters tallied 25, more than any other year. New Year's rang in with thousands of records shattering across Europe. At least 8 countries had their warmest January day ever.
So, on July 14th, SAG-AFTRA, which is the Actors and Writers Guild, went on strike over a labor dispute with AMPTP, the entertainment industry's bargaining representative. The strike ended on November 9th, but for the 118 days it went on, no new films could be produced. This strike would fall under themes of entertainment and labor relations.
So the invasion on Ukraine started with Vladimir Putin in a press conference recognizing the two Russian-backed areas in Ukraine, and then this conference was followed by Ukrainian president saying that they would cut all of their ties with Russia, and then this was followed by President Putin launching a special military operation in Ukraine. Directly after this, there were sounds of explosions, and the war then started. Exactly 2 years after, Putin declared war, and 10,852 civilians have died in Ukraine.
So the US had over 600 mass shootings in 2023. So if you average that all up, that's about 2 mass shootings per day. So the definition of a mass shooting refers to an incident where 4 or more victims were shot or killed. So the biggest shooting that year was the shooting in Lewiston, Maine, and it was the deadliest, with 18 people killed and 13 people injured. So in Baltimore, on July 2nd, there were 30 people injured and 2 were killed. And then 8 people were killed and 7 people were injured in north of Dallas, Texas on May 6th. So there were many shootings that year.
After 2023?
So, Trump's trials. Former President Donald Trump is currently facing a massive 91 criminal charges. These are from three main events. One of which is the hush money paid to Stormy Daniels in 2016 over an affair they had. The second is taking documents from the White House and then resisting their retrieval. And the third is the phone call to Brad Raffensperger, telling him to find votes, which we have a recording of to watch.
I think you're going to find that they are shredding ballots because they have to get rid of the ballots because the ballots are unsigned. The ballots are corrupt, and they're brand new and they don't have seals. And there's a whole thing with the ballots, but the ballots are corrupt, and you're going to find that they are, which is totally illegal. It's more illegal for you than it is for them because you know what they did and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. And you can't let that happen. That's a big risk.
If Trump is elected, it will raise the debate over whether he can pardon himself as president. This whole ordeal would fall under the themes of political divisions and may lead to themes of Supreme Court decisions.
Some of the positives of AI is it develops algorithms and analyzes data. There's voice assistants, and the negatives are privacy concerns, job unemployment, and potential misuse of AI-generated technology.
So, the Alabama court decision. On February 16th, the Alabama Supreme Court ruled that embryos have the same protection as children under the Wrongful Death of a Minor Act. This was later overturned, but it wreaked havoc on any hospital offering the IVF services, since they could be jailed for disposing of the unwanted embryos. This has a theme of women's rights and court decisions. So, the 2024 election fallout. So in 2024, there will be a decisive election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. This election, more than any, will have massive repercussions either way. If Trump is elected, he will be the first president ever to have criminal charges. He will implement stronger border policies. He might take the U.S. out of NATO, and there will probably be less rights for both minorities and women. And if Biden is elected, some of his plans are things like child care, gun laws, and abortion rights, among other things. So either way, there will be a large gap between parties. This will fall under the theme of political divisions. And here are our sources.